Don't think we live in a fascist dystopia? Well, check this out. Bubble wrap that does not pop. You know, just because, I mean, maybe you can reuse it and save the world, but, you know, we're just not allowed to have any fun with anything anymore.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
This is my philosophy for the Friends of Venus. I want you to study it and memorize it.
Hello, greetings, and welcome.
Welcome to the Stereo 999 YouTube channel.
I am your host, the artist formerly known as Stereo Steve. And in this episode, we are presenting the first of a new series called What I Got. In the comments, you name a band or an artist, and sometime in the future I will do a video showing what I got by that artist. And I've got a few lined up from previous comments, including the very first one that was suggested to me in a comment, which was Gong. And that's what we're going to start this episode off with. And then after the break, I filmed a really quick Jeff Beck, what I got, like right after I heard the news that he left us. And just for documentary purposes, I'll put that in there. But anyway, welcome. Enjoy. I'm going to start with Soft Machine, because David Allen was originally in Soft Machine, and this album, Jet Propelled Photographs, is the early recordings of Soft Machine with David Allen on the guitar, which were recorded prior to their first album. And long story short, they did a little tour, and David Allen could not get back into England because he was not a British citizen. He was Australian. So he went to France and formed the band Gong. So here's some Gong records. This is Camembert Electric Cheese. And I was lucky enough to meet David Allen. He came by KUSF for an interview in 2002. And I brought a stack of records and asked him to sign them for me, and he obliged. But what's cool is that he just kind of snuck the autographs in with the artwork that he already did. So see, the little For Steve from David kind of is camouflaged by the rest of the drawings that he did in the 70s. Alright, so the Holy Trilogy of Gong is these next three albums. Flying Teapot, see the Radio Gnome Invisible Trilogy, Part 1. Flying Teapot. And I got a little signature here. Angel's Egg is the second album in the trilogy. This is on the Decal label, 90s reissue of Angel's Egg. Which these might be bootlegs, but in either case, David was nice enough to sign that for me too. And you. Probably my favorite of the trilogy, You, the third album. And again with a little signature. This one I showed before, Gong in the 70s. This was a record store day thing that I picked up last year. So I did show this in a prior video. It's live recordings, double album. So David Allen eventually split off and left Gong. Here's his solo album, Happiest Time of Your Life. And the drummer took over. Pierre Morland's Gong was a lot more jazz fusion-y. This is Gazoos. This is like later Pierre Morland Gong with Alan Holdsworth. And it's kind of, I got this in the 90s too. What's kind of cool is it unfolds into a full-on little mini poster there. Espresso 2. I guess this originally belonged to this radio station before it found its way. This has the great Alan Holdsworth on guitar. Heavy tune, man. Okay, meanwhile, David had some other Gong offshoots going, such as Planet Gong. This one's signed here too. There we go. This one has the song Opium for the People. It's kind of leaning towards punk a little bit, but there's still like long 20-minute jams on this record. And New York Gong. Basically, he went to New York and did this album, and grabbed a bunch of people such as Bill Laswell on bass. Alright, and then we've got the David Allen's University of Errors. We got two of those. Those are from like late 90s, I guess. Oh, he signed. Yeah, this is what he was promoting in 2002 when I had him on the radio, was the second University of Errors album. And he signed that guy for me too. And this is a Gilly Smythe solo album, which is a nice record. It's like 1999 maybe. Alright, anyway, let me throw in some Steve Hillage solo albums too, just for the sake of conceptual continuity. This is Fish Rising, and this has got a lot of Gong folks on it. Another white label Virgin pressing. This one, L, this one's pretty rockin'. He does a really nice cover of Hurdy Gurdy Man on this. This one's on Atlantic. And Rainbow Dome Music. This is two long ambient pieces. Motivation Radio. Motivation Radio rocks. That's from like 1977. Produced by Malcolm Cecil, who was one of the Tonto's Expanding Headband guys. But yeah, these Steve Hillage records rock, man. So anyway, that's my Gong.
Oh no, you can't leave yet. You gotta have a nice cup of tea with me.
All right, we'll be back after this break.
Can't be too sure.
Between now and April 10th, every time you place a collect call using 1-800-CALL-ATT, you and the person you're calling could win an internship on Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, yeah. That's just fine. Come on, boys. Just one more time. Oh, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch.
But anyway, so I was sitting and waiting for this damn edible to kick in, and I got news via text message, horrible news about Jeff Beck. And I'm going to start with this record, which I'm sure everybody has seen this record. It's called Guitar Boogie, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, and of course the Yardbirds had those three in them. But it's well known that the Yardbirds' best work was with Jeff Beck. This is the album Roger the Engineer, and it's you know, where they mostly put out singles. It's an album that they actually went in the studio to do. An album. In America, it came out under the title Over, Under, Sideways, Down, and truncated by a couple of songs, similar to, you know, what they did with Revolver. And I got a couple of UK pressings. I'm not sure entirely what the deal with this one is, whether it's original or reissue. There is something weird about the label, is it's on Angel, but it looks like it was Parlophone, and then the Angel logo is just a sticker over the, same with on the cover. So very interesting. I mean, Angel is a classical label as far as I knew, so that's really bizarre. This is an 80s reissue of the mono version on, I think it was on Edsel. Was it on Edsel? Yeah, Edsel Records. And it's got some bonus tracks. It's got Psycho Daisies and Happenings 10 Years Time Ago. And it's got this cool blue cover, and it's got liner notes. I think sometime like 83 or something was when this came out. Sometime in the 80s, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and this is a Trip Records, which was, or is it Springboard? There was Trip and Springboard that did these reissues. Yeah, I think Springboard, and then I've got some jazz ones on Trip. But these were like straight to bargain bin, like in the 70s and 80s. And this is Jeff Beck and the Yardbirds, Shapes of Things, with a picture of Jeff Beck that looks like it's more from the 70s than from when he was with the Yardbirds. This has got some great tracks, and this is the closest I found to this 8-track, which was the first Yardbirds thing I ever owned when I was a kid. But anyway, another good Yardbirds collection is this Shapes of Things. The original ones were on clear vinyl. A lot of the same tracks as that other one. And Remember the Yardbirds. So there's a story behind this. The story is a million years ago. I was walking around because I was bored, and there was kind of a garage sale, kind of a stoop sale, and there was a big stack of records, and I went through this entire stack from top to bottom because they were like laid flat. I went through this entire stack, and it was mostly just crap, but like almost at the very bottom was this Yardbirds greatest hits, and I was so stoked. And I think it was $1, and I think I had like $1 and change in my pocket, you know. So yeah. All right. So then this is Jeff Beck's, this is Jeff Beck's early solo work, the blues rock kind of stuff. Like Rock My Plimsoll, Shapes on Things, Ain't Superstitious, Plinth, some of the stuff with Rod Stewart on vocals. And his first single, Hi Ho Silver Lining, which was competing with the Attacks version of the same song on the charts. And also he does what was my favorite song when I was 5 years old, Love Is Blue. It's Jeff Beck, Truth. This is one of the blues rock albums with Rod Stewart on vocals. Got some good stuff. Shapes of Things, read like I said. You Shook Me, Blow by Blow. These are his classic 70s albums. Like classic late 70s albums. Blow by Blow. It's nice and funky. It's got the song 'Cause We Ended as Lovers, which Stevie Wonder wrote for him. Also Constipated Duck, You Know What I Mean, Scatterbrain, She's a Woman with a vocoder. This is a classic. This is a classic. This is also a classic, Wired. This was a high school boombox favorite. This is a nice white label promo copy. But Wired's got some great songs. Blue Wind, Sophie. He closes out the album sarcastically with a track called Love Is Green, as a callback to his Love Is Blue. Yeah, and then we got this Jeff Beck with the Jan Hammer Group live. Darkness, Earth in Search of a Sun. Being a 420 favorite for decades. The original version of Darkness, Earth in Search of a Sun is on Jan Hammer's The First 7 Days. Yeah, and then jumping ahead a little bit, this is a Box of Frogs. This came out in 1984, I believe, and it was basically a Yardbirds reunion. It was a Yardbirds reunion. It's, Paul Samuel Smith, Chris Dredja, Jim McCarty. Different singer, John Fiddler. As Keith Relf is not with us anymore. But, yeah, Jeff Beck is on, like, I think half of the songs on this have Jeff Beck playing guitar solos on it. Okay, the last Jeff Beck record I'm going to talk about is There and Back. And this is from 1980. This one continues with that kind of funky synth meets guitar kind of stuff. What's cool about this is the texturing of the cover. Star Cycle. That was the jam off of this record. But what's cool is you notice the texturing on the cover. When you open it up, it's his guitar case. Oh, show and tell. It's just a game I play when I want to show you some records. So like and subscribe, and you'll see them next time too. Oh, baby. Okay then, that's my video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and peace.
Oh yeah, that's just fine.